wish I could get a round of applause.
In this 15-part series, we follow award-winning hairdresser Lee Stafford. We chart his progress as he sets up and opens a new salon in Brighton.
You've got hair all over the place, you've got blokes trying to finish painting, you've got gear coming in, you've got the doors going all wrong, everything's happening now and it's really becoming a bit serious.
One day to go. Tight, isn't it? I love it like that, yeah.
We gain privileged access into the daily life of a celebrity hairdresser. And even follow him abroad.
Boat. Thanks very much, guys, for coming.
Lee Stafford is the hairdresser. Coming up in this episode, Nigel lets off steam.
What do you want me to do? I'm not going to get on my hands and knees and say sorry, Carl.
Well, no, it ain't about being sorry.
Lee gives founding member of Faithless, Sister Bliss, a trim.
You were cutting hair in your mum's lounge, I was making tunes in my mum's bedroom.
At the Brighton salon, it's Fixtures and Fittings Week. And Lee lets us into his design secrets.
The pavilion backs onto us. It's literally in our backyard. So that was it. I walked into the pavilion and it just absolutely blew me away.
It's late and Lee is in his London flat awaiting a visit from his builder Nigel. He has rushed to London to discuss friction between Carlo, Lee's MD, and himself.
So I'm having a crisis meeting with Nigel now because Carlo's not speaking to Nigel, Nigel's not speaking to Carlo. There's a big clash of personalities. It's been good cop, bad cop all the way through this with me and Carlo. Now it's completely overboiled, and as much as I love him, I know it's going to be exhausting. So I'm having a deal with Nigel at the moment.
Hello, mate.
Hello, mate.
How's it going?
All right?
Flowers for me.
I know, mate. I'm trying to butter you up.
Nigel's plumber and good friend Tony has accompanied him for moral support.
Well, I'll tell you what we'll do is we'll get Carl a bit out of the way, straight out of the way, all right?
Yeah.
I'm upset, very upset, right? He's a different animal than me, right? I know he's got a job to do, and he's obviously doing the job that you want him to do, right? But I don't come from his world, and he don't come from my world, you know? They're two different people. I mean, all the time, it's like sort of, does he trust me? Does he trust me?
Yeah, but I think you're getting this whole thing mixed up. It's not about trust. Of course he trusts you. Of course I trust you.
Well,
but Carlo comes from a corporate background where they want to know the ins and outs of every penny.
Mate.
And yeah, but it's not a question of trust, Nige. It's about being accountable.
I've worked for huge companies, you know? I've been a foreman for 10 years for lots of companies, yeah? Doing major...
So why do you think Lee doesn't trust you, though? Why is it?
I mean, at the end of the day, the kids don't like me. And probably because it shows through that he's not my cup of tea either. And that's a fact of life. It has really hurt the job. Because if I don't feel well, all right,
yeah,
I can't perform. So if I'm upset inside, because as you said, I'm a big girl, I'm sensitive, yeah? If I'm upset inside, I can't think properly. And I can't get in the rhythm of things. That's it, it makes you feel.
Well, maybe.
Listen, every day of the week is in here. Every penny I've spent all the way through, including the bloke's wages, right? He doesn't even want to look at that.
Yeah, but that's why you're different animals. He comes from a corporate background where people are put under pressure day in, day out to make it happen, under budgets, under time, and that's what it's like. But what concerns me, Nigel, we could sit here talking about you and Carlo till the cows come home, right? And I know you and I know Carlo. No one needs to tell me what either of you are like, right? And there's a clash of personalities, and you are different animals. There is. But I know that Carlo is not a rude man, and I know that...
Not a rude man ordinarily. No. I take him as a rude man.
You seem to take us, and he takes you for some reason like a rude man.
Okay.
We
agree to differ.
We agree to differ. But the problem that we've got is that unless we can sort this out, you know what I mean? But at the end of this job, we're never going to work together again, which I don't want to happen.
What do you want me to do? I'm not going to get on my hands and knees and say sorry, Carl.
Well, no, it ain't about being sorry. It's about maybe apologising to one, and then kind of, all right, if you can't apologise, right?
I can't apologise because he's done me wrong. Don't forget, he let me down because I'm a silly, sensitive person, perhaps. But that's the way it is, mate.
Yeah.
That's the way I am. So you know that. So we'll see what happens.
few days later, Lee is in Essex, where he spends a couple of nights a week. He's invited Carlo round to his flat for a catch-up.
Hey, mate.
You all right?
You're looking a bit saucy tonight, mate. Yeah, you're
not
looking
looking
great,
too bad
mate.
yourself. What a nice bottle.
Well, me and Carlo are family, and we used to spend a lot of time together. And since this whole roller coaster project has started, you know, we haven't had any time together. So it's nice to get me and Carlo together and just have a bit of quality time together. So I'm cooking in my my classic stir-fry special, sweet and sour. And yeah, it's all good.
But the tranquility is soon interrupted when the subject of Nigel comes up.
To you, and I know you're very different animals, you and Nigel. I know you are. You're completely different animals. But I just can't get my head around this personality clash.
Interesting, Lee, because Nigel's not really a topic I really want to discuss over dinner, for one.
Yeah.
Well, he's probably one of the only people I know that makes my blood boil. I'll be totally honest with you. And I've been in this industry for a long, long time, but not at this level in terms of dealing with builders. I work for corporate companies with educated people who know how to communicate.
Now, I know that Nigel, he's a funny old boy, and I love Nigel dearly. And I know, I mean, Carlo, the amount of times that I've been on the phone to Nigel, screaming at him, furious with him, do you know what I mean? And I know what he's like. He's a handful. He's hard to deal with because, you know, he's set in his ways and he's this and that, you know what I mean? But the thing that I love about Nigel, and I do love him as a person as well, you know, I've grown to love him, but is that he's so dependable. You know, you can rely on Nigel. I can ring him at 2 in the morning drunk and say, Nigel, I'm locked out of the flat. He'll be round here. He'll get me in. He'll have a lock on the door next day. He's so loyal. He gets the job done. And he's very proud about working with us. And I'm just worried that if we can't bury the hatchet, we're not going to have Nigel on board.
Exactly that. The priorities are, we've got to get the salon done. We can't start changing builders now. We know he's good at his job. However, I can't deal with people, in terms of business, screaming and shouting down the phone. So as long as I don't have to actually talk to the guy face to face, I'm comfortable with him doing the job and doing the job properly.
Later that evening in Brighton, Nigel is letting off steam with his friends.
I'll tell you, it was a classic. Will you come? Oh, yeah.
Back in Essex, Lee has also decided to have a night out with some of his old friends from Southend.
This is Ralph, and when I first started working in a salon, the little salon that we had, me and Ralph the only stylists in there, so yeah, we go back a long way. And me and Sean used to go to school together. It was an infant school.
So they head out to a friend's bar in the centre of town. Nigel has a different way to relax on Brighton Beach.
Escapism. And that's what we're doing, we're escaping. Fresh air, just nice, yeah? Can unwind, and I think the concentration is what it's all about, really, you know? You forget about the job, you forget about everybody else and all the problems, and you just concentrate on what you're doing, like reading a book. You know what I mean?
Back at the sunrooms, Lee is enjoying time with his childhood pals, something he relishes doing more than anything else.
The thing I dig about Southend is that I'm surrounded by people that I grew up with from an early age, and the difference between that and London could be really superficial, you know. I mean, I love London in a different way, but you can pretend to be different things in London. In Southend, when you've grown up with people from that high, you know, that you can't pretend to be anything that you're not. You are who you are. All the people that are not great, they fall along the wayside. So you end up with people that just are really true and great characters, and that's the thing that I dig about it. And I experience a lot of people that travel the world, they do this, and I believe there's a little bit of hollowness in wherever you go unless you've got people around you that you've spent your life with and you've shared amazing experiences with, you know.
Coming up after the break, founding member of Faithless, Sister Bliss, pays Lee a visit. And back in Brighton, it's Fixtures and Fittings Week, so Lee explains his design inspiration.
This room is completely overwhelming, and it was really the main inspiration for my design.
Back in London, Lee has got an early morning haircut to do.
Hello, Blissy. Hello, Blissy.
Hello.
Sister Bliss is both founding member of Faithless and a top house DJ.
So we're still going to grow it then?
Yeah.
Is it better off to take it off from the underneath then, like we did before, through there to make that a bit flatter?
I
and then
think
leave
so.
all this still a bit longer,
Yeah.
maybe just chop into it a
I love what
bit.
you've done with the top. I think it's great.
So when you're not working with Faithless, or when you're having a little bit of a break, you're doing loads of DJing, yeah? But do you actually enjoy the DJing?
Oh, I mean, I love DJing. I'm still so excited about buying records. I am the original train spotter.
So how long do you reckon you'll be doing it for, DJing?
Oh, crikey, until I go deaf, which will probably be quite soon, to be honest with you. It's been a long time. I mean, after being the sort of toast of the London DJs and having a few spin-off gigs, I went to not really working very much at all, and I was really panicking. So I made my first record on my own. I think it was around in 1992. It really was just an accident. I managed to bag a little record deal. Like you were cutting hair in your mum's lounge, I was making tunes in my mum's bedroom, which is where I had my little keyboard and computer set up.
We all start off in bedroom and lounges.
Yeah.
Soon after, she hooked up with DJ Rollo and Maxi to start up Faithless.
Stings band. And it was my mum who discovered Maxi. She said, I saw this wonderful rapper.
Okay, you've got a lot to try your mum for,
Yeah,
just like me.
exactly.
You know what I mean? Good old mums, eh?
She spotted him first. In the early days, we were actually signed to a record label that didn't know what to do with us, and we sat on a shelf for 6 months. We released it ourselves on the very first incarnation of Cheeky Records, which didn't have any major funding, and, you know, it was all very homegrown. You know, our mates did the videos, my mum did the record label copy, we did our own sleeves, our own artwork. You know, it had a real kind of DIY feeling to it, and it's quite amazing that 10 years on it's become this international supergroup.
Your live gigs, yeah, and I've been to a few of them. Been to Amsterdam with you.
Oh, you have. And you see me DJ as well. Lee's, you've done the whole lot. You're a real friend.
Oh, yeah.
He's carried my bags and everything.
Oh, yeah, I've been a right DJ groovy, haven't I? Why do you think Faithless gigs, everyone goes mental?
Not only does it move people's, you know, feet and heart, it's something for the mind as well. Because
do you feel you've had to become more humble since you've got more successful?
I know when I'm good. I know when I'm doing something good, I think. And then the other side of it is I think everyone else is supremely talented and I just play a very small part in it all. Ta-da!
Ta-da!
Oh, babe. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, darling.
Pleasure as always.
Yes, always a pleasure.
Now I
Never
can go
a
on tour looking svelte.
Oh, looking like a sex goddess. Bye, Blissy. Bye, babe.
Back in Brighton, Lee's new salon has shaped up nicely in the last 7 weeks. The salon infrastructure is complete and the wooden floor's been laid. A week before opening, all that remains are the fixtures and fittings.
It is stressful. It has definitely been a bit of a nightmare. You're at a stage where everything's everywhere and nothing's completed. Because when you get that close to the end, you just got to get there, haven't you? You know what I mean? And anything could happen, you know. And it normally does in the last week. I'll tell you that one. All right.
Lee has planned a visit to inspect progress, and Carlo may be coming with him. But despite earlier friction with Carlo, Nigel is keen to move on.
If Carlo turns up, I'll be a gentleman for Lee's sake, you know, and for my sake, because I just don't feel good about it. I don't like that sort of thing, you know, that sort of friction. I like getting things. I don't like to sleep on an argument, you know, and that's it. Get it straight, sorted. Let's go forward, you know. Hang on, boys. Hello, lads.
Right.
Hello.
Look at this.
Bit of a transformation, isn't it?
This is looking better, isn't it? Right, guys. Right, Daniel. God, the lights look great, mate.
Well, wicked better than mine.
All the mirrors up.
So the mirrors there as well. That really works well, doesn't it?
Things look good so far, and they go downstairs to inspect Lee's favourite room, the customer loo.
That's looking amazing. It's looking absolutely superb.
It's like a prison cell. Lee, back.
Back.
Long step.
So I've got to do long step?
Long step, big long step.
Why a big long step?
Well, because I like watching it.
Is that long enough for you, mate?
Tread carefully there.
Right,
It's like a prison cell. Is this what you wanted to achieve?
Oh, mate, this is going to look great when it's finished.
It is weird, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm not sure about it.
Wait till you see the chandelier.
Off the tiles.
Well, I'm standing on the tiles anyway.
Yeah.
Mate, you want to see the chandelier that is going to hang there, mate.
Yeah.
It is amazing.
Is it modern?
It's
it's a modern...
It's the most modern chandelier you've ever seen.
How much was that?
£1,000.
Did you tell me about this?
Yeah, I told you that, yeah. I love it.
That's the chandelier.
Love it.
You're not home actually by any chance, are you?
Mate, we bought 3 chandeliers that are £1,000 and 2 that are £5,000. That colour is absolutely spot on.
Let's have a look.
Spot on.
That's the Lee Stafford pink, isn't it?
It's not quite, but it is spot on, that colour.
Close enough.
It's fantastic, that colour.
Yeah.
We've got that beautiful chandelier that used to hang outside the office, and I've had these great pink and gold shades made to fit on top that look amazing.
Back upstairs, it's the usual indecision of what goes where.
Oh, right.
Where I saw it going, where I originally saw it going, was here.
Where was I going then?
Yeah, the closet's going to go high.
Yeah, no. To the right.
It could go there.
Just the nice thing with that part is as you walk through the door, it's a great feature, isn't it, for me?
Yeah, but you won't see it because the curtain will be in the way. We've got a curtain now.
Where?
Right there.
With Lee, most of this is in his head. I'd say 90% of it is in his head, the rest is on the drawings, because he can change it just like that, because he don't like the look of it, but then he's limited to do that because that's Lee. That's his flair, that's the way he does it, you know? So, yeah, I need Lee really to get bits and pieces out of his head and make sure I'm going, we're both sort of walking down the same road, you know?
It all started when I started ripping ideas out of magazines, and I put this collage together. We always knew we was going to do something modern contemporary, but we wanted that mix with that oldness brought into it. So we started brainstorming, we started thinking of the Russian Revolution and French Renaissance and Queen Victoria, and then I was working with a young lady called Alison, and she said to me, have you been to the Pavilion yet in Brighton, the Palace? And I said, no, I haven't been. So she emailed me pictures of the Pavilion, which got me really excited. And what a link, because the Pavilion backs onto us. It's literally in our backyard. So that was it. I walked into the Pavilion and it just absolutely blew me away. So this was the first room that I walked into, and straight away I loved these Chinese lights. This is the room that's oozing Chinese.
King George IV was ahead of his time and commissioned designer John Nash to create a blend of Chinese and Indian-influenced design. Work was completed in the early 1820s.
This room is completely overwhelming, and it was really the main inspiration for my design. I mean, you've got these dragons, and these amazing dragons everywhere, and these fantastic chandeliers with them big spikes on the top. And you've got these wonderful curtains and the candelabras and that bloody coffee table that I can't find anywhere, and just all this gold gilt is just so opulent, and it's just one of the most amazing rooms I've ever been into in my life. This is the music room. This room blew me away again. I mean, you've got these amazing chandeliers, the stained glass, which are absolutely incredible. You've got the curtains, the dragons, an absolutely amazing room. This is the servants' corridor, and this is what totally inspired me for the toilet. All these tiles. This is the man himself, Prince Regent, George IV. Now, obviously, I couldn't afford to put that into my new salon, so we went to Thailand, or my dad went to Thailand, and got it copied. So that was it. You know, the design was going to be modern, contemporary minimalism mixed with George IV. So this is my mood board, As you can see, we've got a real varied kind of mix of old and new. Basically, it's a real yin and yang thing. So when you're sitting in front of an old mirror, you'll be sitting on a new chair. When you're sitting on an old George IV chair, you'll be getting your coffee off of a modern coffee table.
That's a fantastic.
Great.
The mirrors, they work so well.
They do, mate.
They are fantastic.
After a shaky start to the day, morale seems to be back up.
It's really starting to come together now, mate. Isn't it? Look at the basins. That position's fine. Get there, though, Carlo. The only thing is,
but all you've got to do
if someone's working there, how do you get by it?
All you've got to do is say, excuse me, you step that way.
Excuse me. Well, let's just do it. So you say excuse me.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
So you can also go around there.
Yeah. And then I'll still have to slide to this far end, and then I'm out this way.
Yeah.
Or if this is empty, you can slide all the way across here.
Show me. Let me try.
So. Okay.
Excuse me, darling.
Okay. Well,
you don't go that far, have you? You could say if you carry on shampooing there, so I could just go around the back, couldn't I?
Yeah, don't forget the little bells.
Yeah, we could do.
Because they can quite easily change from there to there, can't they, Steve?
They could. I would say I was low before I walked in, but today, within half an hour when you look round, all the stress, all the worry has disappeared. I'm sort of uplifted.
It appears the friction between Carlo and Nigel has also disappeared.
Remove all these mirrors, yeah?
And the way you've levered them all off looks great as well there.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, it's very good.
I think Nigel and Carlo seem to be getting on absolutely fine. I think they've both been under an enormous amount of pressure, but now that Carlo's seen this looking fantastic, I think, I think it's all water under the bridge now. You know what I mean? So I think it's all going to be called for cast.
Coming up in the next episode.
It'll look like a proper salon now, isn't it?
The salon is almost completed.
That's going to be the first thing they see, and it just has got class all over it.
Lee seeks some fashion advice.
What do you think of my hat? Nice, isn't it?
And the stress is getting to Carlo.
But is any other solutions that you could recommend with this dilemma that we have?
Coming up in this episode, DJ Ann Savage is in town for a cut.
There's no need to panic, Anne, because this is an evolution, babe, not a revolution.
It's getting busy in the nearly completed salon.
That's going to be the first thing they see, and it just has got class all over it.
Lee seeks some fashion advice.
What do you think of my hat? Nice, isn't it?
And the stress is getting to everyone.
Is any other solutions that you could recommend with this dilemma that we have?
At the new salon in Brighton, Lee's builder Nigel and his team have cleared the salon floor. So Lee, Carlo and Steve will finally see the salon looking finished.
Wow! Go, mate. Give us a cuddle.
You get a cuddle this time, right?
God, it's like a different animal, mate, doesn't it? It's a wicked floor, though, isn't it, Steve? Isn't it? It's starting to look like a proper salon now, isn't it? Mirrors look
So what are the deliveries that we had, Nigel?
Right, we've got the plasma screens here.
Yeah.
Just arrived. The chandeliers are literally 2 minutes away.
Wonderful.
I found a coffee table yesterday.
Just one coffee table.
It's not that big, it's just...
We've just got one coffee table.
Yeah, I'm going to go to Paris the weekend and try to source this other one.
The chandeliers are the first thing to arrive.
But I know what chandeliers are going in what position, though. The gold one, for instance, is going just there, sir.
That is the gold one there?
That's that gold one there.
The small crystal will go in that
Is going there.
That's right.
And the two big ones here?
That's the one.
Okay, so you press on.
Yeah. Oh, I'm knackered. 5 o'clock I got up this morning, I can't sleep. I've never had a sleepless night of worry in my life. Ever. But I've had a few sleepless nights of excitement. And last night was one of them.
Oh, yeah. It's a baby being born, isn't it, this?
I'm in enjoying this because I'm here. I haven't had breakfast. No one's made me tea or coffee. I've got to do something. Plus, I can see my new friend here has many ashtrays to fill. Pretty colours in Crystal. This gives a lot of nice pink, doesn't it?
All different colours.
It's a lot easier than just staying up talking to customers every day. Took my holiday home. Really? How boring.
Look at that. Looks amazing, doesn't it?
Yeah, well.
Looks absolutely wicked. Love it.
Soon after, a second chandelier is in place.
It just looks so pretty, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? I mean, when people walk into this shop, mate, that's going to be the first thing they see, and it just has got class all over, is it not? Stevie boy? I've got more excited about that one than that one. Or am I forgetting how excited I was about that one? Ah, lovely.
We'll put it to the height that you want in a short while.
Yeah, it looks about right to me. Lovely, isn't it? That was £1,000, that was. Can you believe that? It seemed a lot bigger in the showroom. Nice little contrast again, look, modern lighting, old lighting.
Lee's inspiration for the salon was the Brighton Pavilion, so he goes to the gift shop for the finishing touches.